soundtrack, I don't know. I must say, like, honestly, while C418 soundtracks are incredible, the new ones are really good as well. It's impressive. I'll just continue this Minecraft playthrough. I do have other games planned for this channel, but since this is just the second video and the first one was Minecraft, and I actually, surprisingly, the video got like 180 views in a few days, which isn't a lot, that's not a lot of views, but considering this channel only exists for like a month now, and I didn't share it with anyone. Like I said in the video, I'm not sharing any of these videos with anyone. It's actually pretty impressive. But yeah, so what I wanted to do is I just wanted to do another Minecraft video to keep the people who came here for Minecraft engaged as well. I will play a lot of Minecraft. I do like this world, and today I will progress a lot more than I did in the last video. I was very distracted by talking, since it was my first time ever recording anything. Also, I just noticed I already used and a lot. And last video I counted, it was 103 times I used and to like continue sentences, or I did it again. I really need to try and stop using that. I really need to. But I hope this video I can be a little more energetic, a little bit more motivated, a little bit more fluid with my English, and not bore you to death. God, the soundtrack is really good. Oh, that's a nice view of my base. I love that. Right. So, this video, I wanted to talk about something that came up just recently. Hi. I don't need the shield right now, actually. Actually, do I talk over that music? It's really, really nice to listen to. I just will, but a little bit more calm, right? That's also something that you gotta think about when learning a language, like I'm learning English. It's not just about pronunciation or vocabulary. You do need to get tone correct, right? Correct too. And there's a lot of nuance that comes with the way you use tones in your voice and sound more relaxed or more with more tension. That adds a lot, and I think if some beautiful inspirational music is playing in the background, I might just turn down my voice a little bit, try to be a little more comfortable, a little bit more how do you say it? Oh damn. A little bit more calm, a little more comforting and warm, right? This shouldn't be chaotic. It should still be entertaining to watch and listen to, but it shouldn't be chaotic or annoying. I hope I'm not annoying, that's a huge insecurity of mine. But who cares? I actually got very nice people in my comments last time. It's just 2 people, but the first one, it was a joke. I'm not taking it seriously, don't worry. But the first one insulted my building skills, because obviously if you look at this base, this isn't the most incredible piece of art, right? Especially, I think what made him say this is, or what made them say this, is the waterfall down there. That is very ugly. I do gotta say that. But I think I commented that too. I am intentionally building in the older style. I don't want to go crazy with this in this world, because I'm playing on this like old mod pack, and I want it to be more relaxing than trying to figure out huge trying to figure out huge mega bases, you know. Oh, the song is ending, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. What do I want to do? Right, get an axe. Ah, no, I didn't really use the music. That's sad, but that's fine. Okay. Did anyone ever craft an axe like this? This is not how we usually do it. I do it like this, right? Maybe this is acceptable. I think it's psychotic. But did anyone ever do this? That's insane. I didn't even want to make a wooden axe. So, the actual topic of this video I kinda fucked up. It's not that big of a deal, and I've calmed down since I've had the idea to record a video about this. But I kinda fucked up in school. And no, that's nothing serious, right? School, who really cares about school that much? I certainly don't, that's also why I fucked up. But, you know, it's still important, and it still can cause a lot of stress, you know? And I think many people can relate to this, I never learned for school. I never did. I'm a visual learner, I'm not the type of person to just go and say, "Oh, everything in the school system is shit," and I don't have any responsibility. No, I do have responsibility, and if I mess up, then I am the person that messed up. Of course, the school system sucks, and people like me aren't meant to learn the school system, but I'm still in the school system, so I should be the one taking care of my own failures. You know, you can't. That's an important life lesson that I had to learn when I was like 14 or something. Life can suck a lot, and it's unfair and it sucks and it's shit. But even if it is shit and even if it is unfair, you still are the one in control, you know? Unfair things suck, but if something is treating you unfair, then you can't just sit around and cry about it being unfair. You do need to do something about it. And in the case of school, I didn't. So I guess I didn't really learn from that lesson. But whatever, that's multifaceted, I think you say. Like it has many layers to it. The reason I am bad at school, I think that's the way you say it. I'm not sure. I said again. I need to stop that. That's a bad habit. I failed the last semester, kind of. I think the teacher was very nice. I didn't fail fully, but I was very lazy. I'm not gonna talk about what kind of school I'm going to, by the way, for privacy reasons, but just generally to keep it making sense. I am going to school, some kind of school, and as you've heard, it has semesters. I failed the last semester, kind of. The teacher was still kinda positive, but I certainly fucked up. Like I really did. And I know why. I mean, there are some classes that I just did not attend. It's entirely my fault, and of course, I could now say like, oh, the reason I didn't attend is because the teacher sucked and it was boring and I didn't learn anything anyways. And while that's true, like, come on, I didn't attend class. I can't blame someone else for me not attending class. That's a little bit cheap, you know. I should take responsibility for my actions. And so yeah, not only that, but there are many mistakes I made. I basically didn't learn for any exams and whatever. I got some help, so I didn't fail every exam, but it's fine, right? I said again. That's not easy to get rid of. But I'm gonna get there. Don't worry. I'm gonna count it again. This video, I'm gonna count the arms again, 100%. Fuck. Sorry. No swearing. Okay. School. What I wanted to talk about is not just school and why it sucks. School. Everyone knows school sucks. I have actually talked to an extrovert. Crazy that these people exist, but I'm not judging, you know. No, but I said it again. But fuck. But this person actually enjoys school, which is unironically the first time I've ever heard someone say that they like school. I talked about it with them, and well, the obvious reasons were that I should just stop insulting myself for saying I'm gonna say it and then it's fine. One second, let me drink something. This person is very much how do you say it? They fit a lot into the school system and why it sucks, and that's fine. It oh, there's nothing wrong with being different than me or a lot of other people. In fact, I'm very happy and impressed that they seem to enjoy the way the school system works. I personally don't put a lot of importance into school. I must say, and that's important, I don't put a lot of importance into school because I don't necessarily need to. I grow up with a household that's where I'm like supported, right? I don't need a lot of money. I don't need a lot of focus on career or all that stuff, right? And so my interest has shifted greatly. Not shifted, it's never been in a career way. It has always been since I first did any kind of art stuff. It has been not to get rich and be successful with a job or career. It's always been more about values and art and creation, which sounds very corny and very privileged, and it is privileged to say, but I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to live like this. What does this have to do with school? If school is still important, I still need money. Everyone needs money, and I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna get it for free. I'm not rich. I'm just in a okay living situation. My parents aren't going to just give me a lot of get money for no reason. I just almost used the German word Geld. Interesting. So yes, I need a proper job, and there's always jobs for me. That's no problem. And I live in a country that's, at least for now, pretty secure and fine with that situation. So I will always be able to get a job, but it would be nice to have a proper job. And to get a proper job, you need to go to school and get at least an okay degree. And so fucking up in school is not ideal. Ideally you would want for school to work out positively for you, because even if you are like me and want to put less focus on career and money, it's still an important part of life, and it makes your living situation a lot more comfortable. And if your living situation is more comfortable, then that means that you and your art creation is going to be thriving more. You and your friendships and whatever, right? I'm really, really suppressing the need to say and other filler words. But I'll get there. I'm improving already, okay? I want to find a cave, ideally, but a good one. Actually, I'd like you to put in the comments what kind of video lengths you are okay with watching fully when it comes to these kinds of content, which is just talking and playing Minecraft, right? It's kind of someone in my comments called it a podcast. I didn't think about that, but it's kind of fitting actually. I wouldn't call this a podcast, but if you want to call it that, that's fine. I don't actually know what the definition of a podcast is, if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, what kind of lengths are you okay with these videos? Of course, this greatly is different for any kind of person, but I kind of worried that the 45 minutes or what the other video was already pretty long, and I didn't really want to get over an hour. And this topic should be simpler, and I could get it into like a few sentences, but I do want like a proper. I'm always yapping too much, and I want to talk about personal experiences and all my connections with the topic and maybe what you can get out of it, right? And so the video is gonna end up being longer than just a few minutes. And just even right now, me talking, I am unsure if this will fit into the easy like 40-minute or less video lengths. I don't have a really good grasp on time when it comes to talking. So, I mean, that's probably a skill you can still learn, right? It's probably to do with my English too. It is a skill you need to learn to keep sentences short, but still have detail in them and use rich vocabulary that makes them understandable and easy to listen to while conveying everything you want to say in a short form, you know? I'm still very bad at that. I've always been pretty bad at that. I like writing and saying long things. Long... lots of words. So I would appreciate if you put in the comments if you like whatever the video length of this is gonna be and what kind of your ideal length for such a video would be. I know that I can, like, the type of video that I'm doing right now that this is inspired by, I could watch this for like an hour in the background while I'm like playing something. But ideally, I think, to me personally, it's around 30 to 45 minutes. But I'm not gonna... I would whatever you say in the comments, because I don't really mind. I just want to get across the message and what I want to talk about and have some relaxation, some relaxing Minecraft gameplay in the background. So whatever fits you, the viewer. The viewer being 2 comments so far and like 11 subscribers, but I don't want to sound entitled. I don't want to sound like I have a I don't want to sound like I have a community. That's wrong. I don't, but you know, whatever. I'm just curious what kind of content length you would like. There's copper everywhere, but I can't find a single iron ore. This is a very interesting cave. I hope it doesn't just end. More copper. Okay, to be fair, I am in a mountain, so I'm probably not very low to get iron. Fuck. Okay, seems to be a more interesting cave than the others. Iron! Finally. I have a feeling we could find some bigger caves if I keep going down here. So I might just dig up and like make a little staircase down here. Oh, more iron. Isn't that nice? Oh, I can feel... I'm already very tired, holy shit. I had to go to the doctor today and to the dentist, and I had to wake up early. And now, don't laugh. Do not laugh. Waking up early means 10 AM, okay? Trust me, my sleeping rhythm isn't that off. But it is off and it sucks, and winter depression is really fucking killing me, okay? But that's fine, that's a topic for another video. That's not what this video is about, okay? Sorry. The night sky. Oh, I think that's the old skybox. Right by my house, that's actually pretty cool. Oh, there's a copper vein in it. Okay. Now, back to the topic I was talking about, right. I was saying that school's important and you should be valuing it, even if you have a comfortable living situation. It's still important to succeed in school somewhat, at least, right? You don't ever need perfect grades. No one cares about that. But you should try to get through it alright, right? Don't do something stupid, don't mess up all exams, do attend classes, okay? And what I was talking about with failing the semester, that's not the normal way that Blast works in vanilla Minecraft, at least not in the new versions. That creeper exploded way too much. I didn't fully fail the semester, apparently. The teacher was either nice or it's part of the system, I'm not sure. And I get to already attend new classes, but I do need to repeat some old ones because I failed them, which really sucks. But now that I talk about it, and that's the kind of the important point I want to make. Now that I talk about it, it really doesn't sound that impressive or impactful. It doesn't sound even somewhat concerning. Like, oh, alright, you messed up in school. So what? It's such a small setback that no one really cares about. Of course it comes with its issues. I think it's demerits. Positive things are merits and negative things are demerits. I'm not 100% sure. It has its demerits. Like, I had really cool friends on the school that... okay, I'm not going to talk about that too much, why I switched schools to this one. It has had a lot to do with the people there and depression and stuff. And on this school, I did actually finally find some really cool people. Come on, shoot the zombie. Not gonna attack them. Okay. And so my first instinct was to get very worried about not only what they will think, but that I won't get to attend classes with them anymore. And I also am not a big fan of having to attend classes with randoms again that I have never met in my life. I think even if you are not introverted, you will agree that that kind of sucks. Getting to know new people is always stressful. At least I think that most people will agree with that. And so I did not want that, but what actually happened at first when I saw the message of me having failed the semester wasn't me thinking about, oh, my friends and whatever. No. You know this adrenaline moment when your whole body just freezes up, your eyes widen, and you're like, holy fuck, I really messed up. Like, something serious happened. Something really fucking serious happened, right? That when... I think the most similar thing I can describe to it is like when you have a crush, which I barely have had, but when you have one, and you text them, and you notice that you like messed up something in your message or something, and you can't delete it because Twitter sucks, and don't text people on Twitter. And now that I said that crush was on Twitter, that actually sounds really weird. No, I did not meet them on Twitter. Do not worry, I met them on Instagram. But I texted them for some reason on Twitter. I'm not gonna get into it. Whatever. But there's a message, you send them, and you can't edit it. Right? That's so fucking... I don't know if anyone can relate to that moment, but it really, really messes with your mind. And that kind of shock feeling where you're... that goes down your spine, that's kind of what I felt when I read that message. Because I have a crush on my teacher, I'm lying, that was a joke. Don't take it seriously, please, that was a joke. That guy is like old. I'm not gonna say his age, I don't know how old he is. Oh fuck. Right, but so I felt this adrenaline, this shock moment. Why did I feel it? Because at first when you feel it, there's no reason for it, you just feel that way, okay? There doesn't need to be any rationality to your feeling. Oh, I got one. Got another vocabulary thing. Sorry if you're new here and you don't get my whole spiel about English learning, but... okay, another vocabulary piece. Visceral. A feeling in your gut. Something that doesn't have to be rationally explained, but it's still a feeling that you have about something. I think I'm using it correctly, I'm not sure. It's a very visceral feeling because there doesn't have to be any reason for it. You just know you feel it because it gets you, right? It just makes you feel that way, whether or not it makes sense. And that's kind of what you feel, right? I talked way too long about that, whatever. What I was going with that is, why did I feel that way? Because it isn't the actual consequences of school. That's something I had to think about like an hour later or something, with my stomach turning and me being all in panic and what do I do? What do I do? Holy fuck. And by the way, in case this sounds like an overreaction, and it is an overreaction, I never really had consequences for my laziness at school. I have always, okay, I cried a million times in French class in 6th grade, but that's a whole nother story. But like, me being lazy is kind of the standard I never learned for school, and I always got through kind of okay. And even if I failed some classes, I kind of sneaked my way through school and never really failed anything, never had to repeat any classes. And so that was a very new feeling to me and very shocking. So that's why I reacted the way I did. Don't call me a crybaby, snowflake. Okay, I'm very sensitive. Don't do that, please. Okay, don't do that. Anyways, I didn't feel it because I was actually fearing the consequences that would await me at school. That would be the only logical thing. I wasn't in shock or in panic because I thought, oh fuck, that means I need to repeat this semester. That is what sucks about this. I really don't care about spending another half a year at school, because I don't even have a plan for what's gonna come after it. Like, it's not like I'm rushing anything. I really don't need to worry about that. And of course, I just mentioned the friends part. That was, of course, a thing I worried about, but it wasn't that big of a deal. What is big of a deal? Oh, deep slate. I'm gonna go down that later. The only thing that I realized then later, after I already had my whole mind racing through every horrible thing ever, was that the real reason I feel bad is because I didn't want to disappoint my parents. And now, again, sorry that I have so many disclaimers and warnings and whatever, but my parents aren't mean or whatever, right? They don't do bad shit. Luckily, I'm in good hands. I love my parents, but again, my parents are the one paying for the school, and it feels like I already switched schools and whatnot, and then I fail a semester. That feels really fucking bad. But then, if you think about it, first of all, I don't think my parents would judge me for that. They would, of course, be upset maybe, which is understandable, but I don't think they would care that much. But I tend to overestimate the feelings that other people have over my actions, or over me generally. Sorry, I am yapping a lot, am I not? I'm really I'm always drifting off, talking about some other topic, and then I tend to expand on that topic. What am I actually talking about? Okay, I want to keep you here for 2 hours. I hope I can get it less than an hour. Sorry. What this is actually about. I am not worrying about the actual consequences and what's actually important. I'm just worrying about something that isn't that serious. And the actual consequences aren't, because I never really cared about school in the first place. As I've said very early on, I don't need this, like my life depends on it, right? I'm gonna be fine. Sorry, I'm gonna be fine. I even like this semester, failing this semester, what does that mean? Nothing. I can still like get through school if I now log in a little bit. My actual focus isn't on school. It's on things that actually interest me. Oh, I went in a loop, I think. Like I noticed that about a lot of things that I have worried about in the past. Like now that I think about it, are the things that you worry about actually important? Or are they just some superficial bullshit, right? Of course, it's okay to worry, it's okay to be sad. I'm sad all the time. That sounds very depressing, but you know, whatever. Maybe you should focus your mind on some other stuff. There are so many things that get me. Sorry, I shouldn't say us if I don't know who you are, but I'm guessing that many people have similar problems. There are so many things that get our stomach turned and make us feel difficult about life. But if you actually think about it, does it really matter? And I'm not just saying this in a psychological, oh, does anything matter? We are just atoms flying through the universe way. No, that's not what I mean. Even if you consider... Oh, what is this? This is a geode? Tough. That's tough. Even if you consider the importance that your worries like school have on life, is it worth getting this upset about it? Of course, you can't control your emotions 100%, but maybe it's a little bit of an overreaction. I know that the reaction I had was very much an overreaction. So maybe I should just turn my brain off sometimes. That's really all. Just sometimes it's better to just turn your brain off. There's no reason for it to be on if you're just gonna use it to be sad and annoyed about something. I don't have any coal left. I need to get back up. That sucks. Do I have Zoomify installed? I don't. Okay, then I'll get an amethyst so I can get a, what's it called? Fernglas. Fuck, spyglass. Right. That's weird. In German, it's called Fernglas because you can look in the Ferne. Ferne is far away. And in English, it's called spy because you spy on something. That sounds worrying. Get your fucking act together, English. Just seriously fucking stop that shit. It's creepy, okay? Disgusting. Disgusting language. No, I like English. You know I like English. If you watched the last video, you do. You do. And probably this video too. Yo. The second I found back to my tunnel, the music started. I hope in this video my audio quality is a little bit better. I tried recording a little bit different this time. Not just through OBS, but since I'm not streaming, I can actually record audio properly with Audition. I'm not gonna need... you don't need the technical details. I just hope that the sound quality is a little bit better, maybe the mixing is a little bit better. And you can enjoy it a little bit more. Maybe I'm a little bit more energetic. I hope. I'm a little bit more fluid with my English. Do I want to... Yeah, I'm gonna sleep for Phantoms. I don't know if Phantoms are enabled or not. Probably I didn't change anything about that. What do I want to say right now? I hope this video is a little bit more pleasant to watch. I hope it's a good length. So far I've been recording less than the last video, but I also think I've been talking a lot more, which means I need to cut in a lot more footage, which means that the video is obviously gonna be longer. Is this spider gonna attack me? It's not. I'll try to find diamonds this video. I don't need many, but just a few. Maybe I can find a big cave or something. That would be nice. I'd missed this. Thank you. I didn't put any of my ore in the chest. Whoa, that jump scared me. Okay, look, that's where I have to critique it a little bit. This music is still amazing. It's still a very good soundtrack. But this very high tone takes you out a little bit too much. I feel like the other soundtracks capture the essence of Minecraft a little bit more. This one is still a good soundtrack, don't get me wrong, it's good music. But it isn't as calm, you know, it isn't as as easy to interpret for your own story, like Minecraft soundtracks should be. And I think specifically these high notes and production quality when it comes to the background noise is a little bit too much on this song. It's good on its own, but inside Minecraft I'm not convinced it's a perfect fit, you know? But whatever, I don't make music. So I should be the one complaining, I think. I don't have any complaining rights. I'm gonna make an extra chest, I don't like that. Okay, here we go. I don't think I ever crafted a single spyglass in survival. Oh, that zooms very far. I might want to install a mod to make that a little bit more usable. What the fuck? That zooms very far. Who has a render distance? I mean, I could run this at a higher render distance, but I don't think in old Minecraft this is really usable that way. I can zoom farther in. Nah, that's too much. I'll look that up. But for now, let me... Oh, actually I should get some armor. Right, so what I've realized is that I've just been worrying about a lot of things that really don't need my attention at all. It's impossible to have your life fixed up entirely. If you put focus on one thing, you can't keep up the others always. You always need to make sacrifices. It sounds stupid, but it's like, it's an insane coincidence, really. I tried a long time, for years. I just stopped doing this like a few months ago. I tried to make certain aspects of my life to be... I try to make them perfect. Not like I want to look perfect. No, no, no. I wanted certain things like my PC setup or something to just be in a form where I don't need to worry anymore about anything going wrong, and everything works out perfectly the way I want it to. That is not an impossibility. I'm aware that that is physically possible. And I mean, right now it almost is pretty much that. But it got to a point where I wanted to get so many things in my life to like, I was gatekeeping myself, kind of like the thing I talked about last episode, but not with my English, but with kind of my confidence in everything. I was gatekeeping myself from doing art, from practicing English, even from things such as self-expression, from talking to people, from the clothes I'm wearing, the clothes I'm wearing, with the outfits I'm wearing, right? Even what I post online, what I show off my room, I was gatekeeping myself from basically living in any way because certain aspects that I have in my life that ground those things aren't perfect the way they can be. I told myself, for some reason, that I'm not gonna draw ever. No, that's wrong. I'm not gonna draw until my drawing tablet and everything I have here for drawing is set up correctly, and I can just draw without any worries in the background, which makes sense at first, right? It sounds logical. Like, sure, if you want a good drawing setup to practice drawing, that's totally fine. But it gets to a point, you know? And then I started the same with the videos and my English practice, and then like I wanted my room to be perfect, to have a good ground for me on video editing. I wanted my room to work perfectly for drawing to work correctly. I wanted my room to be perfect for recording videos to be perfect, and I didn't want to try out more interesting clothing styles because I thought that my body or my face or my hair wasn't perfect enough. For everything I wanted to do ever, I wanted some kind of grounding base. And to my brain, that at first sounded completely logical. Maybe it's perfectionism. I don't know what exactly is the issue. It's definitely a lot of issues that sit on top of each other. But a lot of insecurities and everything just started adding up to a point where if I don't work on the insecurities or my room, there's nothing I can do to progress because I don't allow myself to do it. And that is a horrible, horrible, horrible mentality that took me through probably an entire year, maybe even longer. It really, really hurt me in a lot of ways. Of course, I had my reasons to be... What is that? Wait, I can zoom. I just pressed the wrong button. Okay. I had some reasons to be insecure about aspects of myself that I'm not gonna talk about yet. Not in this video. But that doesn't mean that you can't be yourself, you know? That doesn't mean that you can't make art. I can just make this video right now. I am not showing my face right now. That doesn't mean I'm ugly. And maybe it is because I'm not ready to show it. Maybe it's privacy. We don't know. I'm telling you right now that's definitely because I feel like I look ugly, but that's fine. Whatever. Everyone can be insecure about certain things. But the point is I'm still making the video, just without a face. You need to find workarounds. Because if you don't find workarounds, if you don't find a way to do what you want to do, you will end up not doing anything. Even if you tell yourself, oh well, then I'll just work on getting these imperfections done and stop being insecure and stuff, right? You can always go to therapy, you can always fix up your room, you can always get good at English, right? But you need to realize that at some point you're really halting yourself from any progress you can ever make. I noticed that when in my setup, right? My setup is pretty cool. I like my room. It's pretty and I decorated it with a bunch of plushies and I'm whatever. And it's very cool. But at some point, like half a year ago, my cable management broke. I have like a little thing that keeps up my cables and keeps them organized, and it fell off, right? And the work that would have been required to fix that, it's still not fixed, by the way. It's still not fixed. I really need to. The work that's required to fix that is like an entire day. It's so annoying to fix cables. If you have ever had anything to do with cable management, it's probably the worst thing that humanity has ever made up. Cables suck, okay? And this fell off while I was working on like 3 different other things. I was working on my room, I was trying to fix up my hair, I was trying to get rid of insecurities, and I was trying to learn makeup, and I was trying to make myself feel better about myself, and practicing English and art and video editing and everything at the same time. And then that fucking thing fell off. And I realized, okay, something needs to fucking change. That is not how life is supposed to be lived. That's not how it works. That's not how you are productive. Because even though I worked on certain things, that doesn't mean I actually made any progress. Of course, I got experience. Oh, that's nice. But I once again don't have any coal. I need coal. It got to a point where I didn't take any breaks at all. I'm just sitting at home and I'm either overwhelming myself with self-improvement stuff, or I'm sitting there watching YouTube or doing whatever. No, watching YouTube, that's really all I did. And thinking about what I could do to work on myself instead of just enjoying my time or actually like making art. And that sucks. That's like the worst thing you could ever do. It really is absolutely horrible, because that gets you into a loop that you're just stuck like that. You can't do anything if you keep thinking like that. You'll be sitting around wasting your time again and again and again every single day, thinking that, oh, maybe one day I'll be fine with my hair looking okay, or I'll stop being insecure about my face being ugly, and I'll stop being insecure about my English being bad, maybe, and then, only then I can start doing what I want to do. No, start doing it now. Even if you have to compromise, do it now. Oh, I'm sorry, the bat slept on that iron now, or I just destroyed their bed. Stop worrying about certain things, right? There are things that deserve your thought, but thinking about something, trying to solve an issue, isn't the same as having your stomach turn because you took a bad selfie, or having your stomach turn because your teacher just DM'd you. DM'd sounds like it's on social media. Your teacher just texted you that you failed the semester. No, instead of having your stomach turn and having you unable to move and sit in depression all day like I've done the past days accidentally. Accidentally sounds wrong, but you know, it kind of is an accident. Um, you need to pick yourself up. You really need to. It's not easy. It fucking sucks. I right now, I talked about it earlier a little bit. I have winter depression right now, and getting out of bed is fucking insane, dude. Wow, I really need to ask my I really need to ask my parents for therapy. I really do. I have yet to do that, but you know what? Maybe I should take that as a sign to pick me up in that regard as well. I should pick myself up and fuck it, just fucking ask for therapy. I need it, so I should ask for it. Since when are creepers moving like that? That's also new. Like, stop being so hung up about superficial issues. There are things that deserve your time and thought, but thinking isn't the same as... Oh my god. It's getting shot by a skeleton. And really, that's all I wanted to get across in this video. It sounds very simple, and it really is simple, but we all do it every day. At least if you're mentally challenged. I'm not sure how people interact with this world if they are not mentally challenged, and that's fine. You don't need to understand everything. But you need to stop. I need to stop worrying about things that really don't matter. School matters, as I've explained, school does matter, but the way I worried about it is it's just not worth it. It really isn't. I'm gonna have to live with my mistakes, I'm gonna have to do something about them, but if you just sit around stopping yourself from being yourself, stopping yourself in any regard, because you messed up in some way or another, and having your stomach turn, not being able to sleep, not being able to wake up, or stand up, rather. Oh, is that an iron vein? Not being able to work on what you want to work on so badly, not being able to be creative, be motivated, just because of some worries that sometimes they aren't even real. Like with winter depression, I'm very much aware that most of the time I'm not sad about a specific thing. You just are. You can't stop that from happening. You just are. You just are sad. You just are unmotivated. It doesn't make sense at all. And sadly, and that's kind of the issue with that stuff. By the way, I'm not diagnosed. I don't want to sound like one of these people that diagnoses themselves. It's a serious topic, and I don't want to spread misinformation. So, in case what I'm describing is, in case it turns out I do not have depression. This is not medical advice or anything, but just to share my experiences with mental health generally. The things that there aren't really things you are specifically worried about with depression. You just are depressed. You just are sad. You just can't stand up for no reason. There is no reason for it. Sometimes your mind may make up a reason. Maybe you are worried about something, but in reality, these worries that you have, they could happen any other day. And if you're in a good mood, if you aren't depressed, if you aren't in a depressive phase, you suddenly are totally fine with them. There aren't things you are worried about. It's the things that you are worried about today not only will be completely irrelevant in a few, even weeks probably. Sometimes, at least in my case, it was that case, you have been worried about these things in the past, and then a day passes or two, and you are doing completely fine, you are motivated, you are maybe working on something that you really like, maybe you are doing okay, but these worries didn't disappear. Like the thing that you were sad or annoyed about Nothing changed about it at all. Everything that the only thing that changed is the way you perceived it. So you realize that all these wasted hours of, ooh, my first diamonds. All these wasted hours of sitting around, being unproductive, or not spending quality time. It's not just about being productive, it's also about sitting down, just playing a video game, being happy, spending your time not productively, but with quality. Spending quality time is the most important thing in your life. In my life, sorry. In my opinion, that is the most important thing that you could do. And if you just sit around doing nothing because your brain is telling you to not be motivated, that feels stupid, and it is. Fuck. Oh. Oh, I love this. I love this disc so much. That is such a good soundtrack. Now, I don't need the spyglass and I don't need the amethyst shard. I'm just gonna leave them in there. Oh, this is a deep cave. I really want to explore here. And about that whole video length part, I'll probably figure it out at some point automatically, because I will adapt and learn how to get more content into my sentences and actually talk in a way that makes sense, if you know what I mean. And the moment I actually have proper content in the things that I want to say, the videos are probably going to be shorter anyways, because, well, yes, the topic that I was talking about technically is big. It is very easy to explain, or it should be at least. And if I got a hold of my English and my talking skills generally, then I could have gotten this point across in a lot easier fashion. But I still hope that you learn something from it. I'm very curious to see how often I said and in this video. I hope it's less. Last time, as I said, it was 103. God, creepers are annoying. Thank you. Actually, should I use the 1 diamond to make a jukebox? That would probably be a very nice thing. So I can listen to this beautiful disc. Cat is also a very nice disc. I'll think about which one I'm gonna choose. Where is the way out? I'm actually lost. I hate getting lost in caves. I don't even remember where the big cave from earlier was. That's really bad. I want to get back there at some point. I think I'm gonna go back there and then I'm gonna just dig up. Scary, deep cave, etc. USW, which means und so weiter in German, which means and so on. Actually, and so on. SAO dot period and more and more. And I'm back home. I've actually decided what disc I'm gonna play. I've decided for other side. Cat is more nostalgic, but other side actually means a lot to me. I think it fits a lot with the message that I wanted to convey in this video. You should stop letting your worries stop you from doing what you want to do. Even if something bad happens, even if you mess up, the solution isn't to just sit around and feel bad about it. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to cry. But at the end of the day, pick yourself up and make the best of the precious time that you have. Have a great day.